Okay, this is Sabrina, your escape coach Hickman. I am doing this 21-day challenge by Nate O'Brien. I make noise team. I can't believe I'm doing this, but this comes right on time actually because I have two of my coaching groups who are actually doing the same thing. Their assignment is due on the 30th, so I guess the leader has to do it. So anyways, you want to know about my passion. The quick version, because it is quite late, I'm just getting in. And I could actually talk about this all day and night. So quick version, I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. Nearly 20 years. I'm like 18 years now. Critical care, cardiac, that's been my background. I've done a little bit of everything from primary care. I've done primary care like clinics. I've done nursing homes. I've done hospitals, mainly hospitals. I was a travel nurse for years. I loved it. I thought I was going to be a travel nurse till I died. But, you know, things happen. You get married, have, you know, family and other responsibilities. And I had a business here. So, you know, eventually I came here to Wilmington. I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina. And it's cool. I started an organization called Escape to Sisterhood, which is a wellness organization for women. And we focus on mental, physical, spiritual balance. Basically, what I do is events. I've done retreats for those of you who've been a part of it over the years. Maybe the largest retreat that I've done in my head has been in the Bahamas, you know, on a cruise, and it's been wonderful. So, and I'm getting ready to do Bermuda next year, so I'm excited about it. And so from that, I've actually birthed, me and my partner, we birthed a teen mentoring organization called Girls Rocking in the South. Acronym is GRITS. And so we basically do empowerment, exposure, that's my goal with them, and basically don't want them to go through a lot of the challenges that I went through as a young adult or even as an adult, you know, not wanting to speak in public, or, you know, not wanting to actually go after my dreams, my goals, things like that. So we've been working on getting them to come out of their shells and be the person or the young woman that I know that they can be, you know, pushing out their purpose, you know, so that they can find their purpose and actually live their dreams. So that's what we work on right now. While I was nursing, I would, you know, of course, any nurse, if you're watching this, or teachers, social workers, anybody who deal with people all the time, we have a stressful job. So over the years, you have to have an outlet. Some nurses have recognized that they have other gifts, you know, whether they're crocheting or they're doing some type of art, painting, sculpting, you know, or maybe they just go swimming or something. They have some type of outlet, or I call escape. Well, my escape was baking and decorating cakes and other little sweet treats, and then I would always be that nurse who came on the floor with goodies. So sometimes, you know, they're happy to see me. And I didn't have it all the time, but I did have it because I didn't want it to stay at the house. So that became my sweet escape. So I know I said this was going to be a short story. I told y'all. So the shorter version, let me try. I'm going to stop lying. It's not a short version, but backing up to where I was a travel nurse. So when I was a travel nurse, I actually did that for years, probably like a decade, and I loved it. And then I had, you know, some friends, family. I guess I looked too free, you know. I got paid really good for it, and they paid for my travel and put me in a nice place to stay and all that. But I somehow ended up going to work at a government facility for the federal government, and it was absolutely not the worst place I've been, but it was actually pretty bad from day one, from the entire process going in. And so I went in and I lasted for the 90-day period, and I said this was crazy, and I really did not like it, but because I felt like I needed to live up to everybody else's expectations and fit in, so to speak, or be an adult, and not be all over the place, flying this place and go and work at this hospital, go across the country, work at that hospital. I'm going to be stable and have a 9 to 5. And that's not for everybody. It really isn't. Well, I was at this place and I absolutely hated it. I hated every second of it, but I made myself like it. Okay, I made myself like it. Get that? Okay, so I stayed there. Get that? I didn't stay there for 1 year or 2 years. I stayed there for 5 years. 5. So I was like 5 years in hell, and I didn't like it. And finally, when my health started to decline, and I got really ill, and then I lost a lot of family members who were very close family members, siblings, and my auntie, and I think that just took me out. That was the last straw, and I said, why am I putting up with this? At that time, I already had my own organization. Escape to Sisterhood was already birthed, was already up and running. I'd already been doing retreats, and Sweet Escapes really wasn't there. That's my baking business that I have, and it was there, but it wasn't there officially. It was my hobby, so I wasn't taking the business that serious, but I was just doing sweets, for people if they asked. I just did it for friends and family. So during this time when I finally walked away, I prayed and asked God for guidance, and he told me, hey, you're supposed to leave anyways. Aren't you supposed to leave? I'm going to make sure I take care of you. Basically, not those words, so to speak, but I'm still being taken care of. We're good. We're blessed. And so, my passion is to be able to help others be able to get to that level and beyond that. I want to be free. I know what it's like to be in bondage. I remember what it felt like to be trapped someplace that I absolutely grew to hate every day. And it was a miserable feeling. It wasn't me, because I was that nursey nurse. I loved my bedside. I had excellent bedside manners, and I loved being with my patients. And so it just took me in a different place. So the more stressful I became, then I started getting away from my sweet escape, my escape. So I didn't even go out and travel anymore and take private vacation, or I stopped making sweets a little bit. I actually had thoughts that I'm going to put something in the sweets and I'm going to bring it to work. Yes. When I thought about that, I said it was time for me to go. And so I didn't do that, for the record, but I thought about it. And so at that point I said, I was always that nurse who always told people, if you don't like it, you have so many options as a nurse. You can go anywhere. There are so many jobs that you can have, or you can create your own. And yet here I found myself in a situation where I was miserable and I needed to coach myself. So long story short, speaking of coaching, I keep saying long story short, excuse me for that, because I told y'all I'm going to keep talking about it. But what I do, I got my coaching certification. That was probably the best thing that I got, out of that job. And I was able to help a lot of people, and it changed my life. And that's the beauty of it. So now here I get to merge, nursing with coaching and my sweet escapes, my baking and all this therapeutic. I believe in escapes. So that's what I do. And so it's all merged together, and I'm doing it on my own terms, and it's beautiful. And so with coaching, the best way I can explain it to a lot of people, I do wellness. I'm a certified integrative health coach. So it's holistic care. I'm not just looking at one thing when I coach my clients. I'm looking at everything. So I'm visual. So I'm pulling some books right quick. My inbox is going crazy. Okay, so this is a book Okay, imagine this being your plate. Your plate meaning your life, okay? And then here is another one. You have, this is another issue. Something comes up, it's on your plate. You got to handle, it might be kids or another job that you got to pick up because you got to make ends meet. And then here goes another one. That's another issue. You're trying to now balance all this stuff, right? And then you got a big whopper right here that's like, oh, health crisis that has now come on and it's just taking over your life, right? So now you've got all this stuff going on, and then you're going to try and start something new, right? A relationship, maybe. Fail. You're going to try and squeeze a relationship in there, and that's not going to quite work out, right? And then you're going to try and put something else on top of it. That is probably some extracurricular activity, maybe family issues or something, I don't know. And where do you fit in anywhere? Maybe here? I don't know. But it could be here. You're going to fit yourself there probably. And then you're going to also try and start a new business. And then you put that business like on top of here. Well, this is a heavy load right now, right? You see that? That's a quite heavy load. So while you're trying to balance all of this stuff, and you're fitting right here, something is bound to happen, okay? And what happens if you have an injury, something that's traumatic that happens to you that you can't control, and then things fall apart? Oh, it just fell all over the place, right? Now you're losing it. So I help women primarily, because that's my passion. I help broken women be able to put the pieces together and balance everything. Take a lot of stuff off of their plates so that they can actually focus on what's most important. And really, that's us. So you focus on yourself so that you can get yourself better and get into healing, because in critical care, we got the patients in there. They were banged up, whatever the case is. They were barely understanding what was going on. But the beauty of it is that we got a chance to help heal them so that they can actually get to a higher level, a lower level of care, so they can eventually walk out and be better. So this is how I use my stethoscope. My stethoscope is here. Actually, I still have it. I just use it differently these days, and I love the way that I use it. And so I'm able to use all of the gifts thus far that I'm aware of. I'm able to use all the gifts that God has given me so that I can help other women be able to be a better them. And so where that means if I can help you clear off some things personally, then I can also help you with your business. And so because the way I can help you with your business is because I've had to learn while I'm out here running my business. So I can help you get your business together, but I'm going to help you get your mind right first. Your mind and your heart. That's my primary concern. That's the wellness that I focus on. And so if you actually get that together, then your business will actually start. How do I know that? Because that's me, baby. That's what I went through. And so I aim to help others be able to get out of the situation. I can quickly recognize it when I see it. And my heart bleeds for some women who are so broken, and they're so angry and bitter, and they can't move on from past hurts. They're still focused on the negative stuff that's happened. And I want to be able to help you move past that. I know I can't help everybody, and I'm not called to serve everybody, so I'm clear on that. But I'm highly passionate about helping clear your plate so that you can move forward. So at this point, I am going to cut off this. Nate got me up here talking. It's been 13 minutes, but hopefully that helps you understand what I do. So yeah, I'll talk about maybe my baking business another time, but that's my sweet escape. And I'm going to say good night because it's been a long night and I got to put up groceries. Have a good night, y'all.